So I'm out here at Annie's Acres this morning, and it is the start of strawberry season. So we are going to take a look at some different berries in the area, and we're going to give you a little tutorial on how to pick the perfect berry. So when you first get to Annie's Acres, you'll see the fields of strawberries and usually quite a few people picking in them. But before you get started, you'll need to check in at the welcome tent and get your box and get transported out into the field to get ready to pick. Usually, depending on where they're picking for the day, they'll transport you out into the field and they'll give you a row to start picking in and a direction in which to pick. So if you're picking one way in the morning, you may pick the other way in the afternoon. You pick berries are typically sold by weight, so depending on how much you pick will be how much you pay. At the end of the visit, you'll get transported back with your berries and head back to the welcome stand to weigh and pay. As I said, today we're at Annie's Acres, but Terrapin Orchard in Elizabeth, Illinois, and Boggy Strawberries in Independence also have you-pick operations close by. So the process there might be slightly different, but overall the concept is the same. So before we got started today, we had a quick chat with David Kendall, the co-owner of Annie's Acres, with his wife Ann, to get a little background on the farm and how they got started.
In 1986, shortly after we got married, we had a cattle business, and we realized we needed something to pay our health insurance. So we went all over the United States and asked people what we could grow in Iowa that we could sell an unlimited amount of, and they all said strawberries. We started out with 3 acres, and my father said, who's going to pick those 3 acres? And we didn't know, and 35 years later, we've never had enough berries. So we're up to 10 or 11 acres now, and we still don't have enough berries.
Awesome. How long is your strawberry season?
Usually a month. This year we'll run from like the 6th of June till the 3rd of July. So usually a month. Usually the month of June.
A lot goes into strawberry production even before the season starts. Once strawberries are planted, they shouldn't produce berries the first year. It is actually recommended to take the blossoms off the plants so they can put the energy into establishing themselves into the soil versus producing berries. You'll also need to protect the strawberries and blossoms from later frost, like we can see in the springtime.
But as you see all the irrigation pipes sitting around, you have to have access to water for frost protection. This year we had to water all night long, 7 nights. So you have to have a lot of water to be able to water for frost protection. So that's probably the most important thing.
So the second year after you've planted the strawberries and you've been taking care of them and spent a year picking off all the blossoms, you should be able to get a crop of strawberries off the plants. So as you go out to pick, you're going to have to move the leaves aside because the strawberries will be resting underneath those leaves in the shade. So you'll go in there and go ahead and find those red ripe strawberries, ones that are red all the way to the very tip. And then once you find that red berry, go ahead and go in and then pull right behind that green stem on the top, and it should just pull right off. What's your best tip for picking strawberries and doing that this summer?
I think you have to make sure that you come early in the day when it's cool and the bugs aren't very bad, and you want to get down, spread the plants out. Most of the good berries are down in the shade, and make sure and pick them up and look at them and make sure don't have white tips when you pick them. So pick them fully ripe, then go home and use them right away.
And then what is the best way to store berries so that they keep longer?
The best way is either to leave them whole with the caps on and wrap them in saran wrap so the refrigerator doesn't desiccate them, take all the moisture out, or cut them up and put them in a Tupperware or something like that right away. But they'll last 3 or 4 days if you keep them cool and you keep them wrapped in saran wrap. In a frost-free refrigerator, the circulating air will dry the berries out and they'll lose all their moisture and shrivel up. So you wrap them tight.
And of course, once the strawberries are picked, there was one more thing we had to ask. What's your favorite thing to do with strawberries?
I like to make homemade strawberry shortcake. I don't like the angel food cake stuff from the store. I like the stuff that you make that's kind of flat and really absorbent, and crush the strawberries up on there and put a little sugar with them. That's my favorite thing to do with strawberries. I didn't even eat strawberries before I started this business. My wife said if you're going to have a strawberry business, you better learn to eat them. So I did.
We had a great morning out at Annie's Acres Strawberry Farm, taking a look at the strawberry fields, learning about production, and of course getting to try a few berries. We hope you enjoyed following along with us and get a chance to enjoy some fresh picked strawberries this June as well.